Welcome back to the CarPlay, your ultimate destination for everything on four wheels where performance meets passion and design becomes an emotion. Today we're diving into a roadster that has defined the essence of pure driving joy for over 3 decades. This is the 2025 Mazda MX-5 Miata, a car that needs no introduction, yet deserves a deep dive into what makes it special all over again. Before we jump into the 2025 model specifics, let's remind ourselves of what the Miata stands for. Since its debut in 1989, the MX-5 has carried the spirit of classic British and Japanese roadsters into the modern era with reliability, affordability, and sheer driving pleasure at its core. Fast forward to 2025 and the Miata still holds true to that ethos, but with smarter tech, refined styling, and just enough evolution to keep the purists and newcomers equally excited. The first thing that grabs you is how elegantly compact the Miata remains. Mazda hasn't bowed to the pressures of bloated bodywork or oversized proportions. Instead, they've doubled down on their Kodo design philosophy, soul of motion. The 2025 Miata features a slightly revised front fascia with a sharper grille pattern and sleeker LED headlights that flow more naturally into the sculpted hood lines. The air intakes are a touch more aggressive this year, signaling the Miata's sporting intentions even before it moves. Around the sides you get that classic long hood short deck proportion that makes the Miata look fast even when parked. New for 2025 is the optional matte finish package and a new color called Soul Red Crystal 2.0 with a richer, deeper flake. Outback Mazda has refined the taillight cluster with circular LED rings, giving a subtle nod to earlier Miata generations. The rear diffuser is functional now, channeling airflow under the car more efficiently for better high-speed stability. Wheel options range from 16-inch forged alloys on the base model to lightweight 17-inch BBS wheels on the club trim with Brembo brakes, and yes, those wheels are wrapped in grippy Bridgestone Potenzas if you opt for the track package. Step inside and you're met with a driver-focused cockpit. Mazda continues to embrace minimalism here, and it's refreshing. The seating position is low and intimate, placing you right in the heart of the action. The 2025 model sees new seat padding and bolstering, meaning improved long drive comfort while still keeping you firmly in place on those twisty canyon roads. Materials get a notable upgrade this year. Higher trims feature leather and Alcantara wrapped surfaces, contrast stitching, and a new brushed aluminum finish across the dashboard. The club trim adds Recaro sport seats with heaters, lumbar support, and improved lateral grip. The 7-inch touchscreen has been replaced with a new 8-inch floating display running Mazda's latest infotainment software, snappier, better voice control, and now supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto across all trims. And yes, the manual controls remain. Mazda understands that tactile knobs and buttons matter to real drivers. There's also a surprising amount of trunk space. Well, for a roadster, you get about 4.6 cubic feet, enough for a couple of weekend bags or a set of golf clubs, and with the manually operated soft top or available RF retractable hardtop, you can go from cover to open air in seconds. Under the hood, Mazda continues with the 2.0-liter Skyactiv G inline-4, pushing out 181 horsepower and 151 lb-ft of torque. That it might not sound like much on paper, but in a car weighing just around 2,400 pounds, it's more than enough to put a grin on your face every time you shift gears. Speaking of shifting, a 6-speed manual gearbox remains standard, and it's arguably one of the best shifting transmissions in the world today. Short throws, perfect engagement, and that mechanical feel that's increasingly rare. For those who need or prefer it, there's also a 6-speed automatic with paddle shifters, but honestly the manual is where the magic is. This year's model gets an updated dual-mass flywheel for smoother rev matching and slightly quicker throttle response. The 0 to 60 miles per hour time is about 5.7 seconds with the manual, plenty brisk for a car that's more about corners than drag races. Where the Miata truly shines is in its chassis dynamics. Mazda engineers have gone to obsessive lengths to preserve the car's legendary 50/50 weight distribution. The 2025 model adds improved Bilstein dampers on the club trim and above, a limited slip rear differential, and reinforced chassis bracing that makes the whole platform feel more rigid and responsive. Steering is light but beautifully communicative. Every bump, every change in grip, every subtle movement of the car is translated to your fingertips with surgical clarity. The result, a driving experience that is pure, immersive, and deeply addictive. Whether you're carving up a mountain road, blasting through a backcountry ribbon, or just taking a city cruise, the Miata feels alive. While the Miata has always prioritized driving over gadgets, the 2025 model brings just enough modern tech to feel current without overloading the experience. Mazda has included adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, and blind spot monitoring as standard equipment. The new driver attention alert system is also standard, nudging you if it senses fatigue or erratic behavior. A new 360-degree camera system debuts on the Grand Touring trim trim particularly useful for parking this low-slung machine. Audio-wise, you get a 9-speaker Bose system that's acoustically tuned for open-top driving with speakers in the headrests for an immersive experience even with the top down. If you're someone who values driving as a form of therapy, if you miss the analog feel of cars from decades past, or if you simply want a stylish, fun, reliable and relatively affordable weekend toy, then the 2025 Mazda MX-5 Miata is still the car to beat. It doesn't try to be everything that IT doesn't need to impress with numbers or brute force that IT knows exactly what it is, a driver's car through and through. In a world of SUVs, hybrids and self-driving tech, the Miata remains gloriously human. And that's exactly why it deserves a place in your garage and in your heart. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2025 Mazda MX-5 Miata, make sure to like, comment and subscribe to AutoCrafters for more reviews, insights and driving passion. We'll see you in the next one.